Yes, people. We are back live. We are back live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube for another edition of the ManDem United podcast, the podcast dedicated to all things Manchester United. So please keep all your comments, all your questions Manchester United related, please. And it is the Friday edition of the show. So I'm joined by my brother from the best coast, that is the West Coast. Man like Eddie is in the building. What are you telling me, Eddie? You good? You on mute, fam? You on mute, fam? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
No,
out here just talking to myself, just talking to myself. Now, I got that cup bounce, talking about that cup bounce. Some people can't have that cup bounce. Some people, they got better wait till next year. Better wait till
Better
next
wait
year.
till
But
next
hey,
year.
man, you start flying the cash, I guess, you gotta brag about something. Brag about the cash, man.
Facts?
But some people can do that too. Some people can't. Some people
Yeah.
need bake sales for transfer markets. So, hey man,
Take
they all
sales.
can't be us. They all can't be us, man.
Take sales and that. Oh my god, good to have you here though, Eddie. Large up everyone that's locked in. We've already got over double figure likes, so big up to you lot.
Appreciate
Let's get
y'all for
up.
that.
As always, make sure let's get up to 20 likes, people. We're 8 short currently. Let's go up to 20 likes, and we're currently at 5,157 subscribers. So only looking for 3 new subs, people. Only looking for 3 new subscribers. And as you can see from the title here, Jadon Sancho. How does Ten Hag get the best out of him? So myself and Eddie will be talking about that. I'm sure you lot will have further questions about the Mason Greenwood situation, which is cool. Eddie, I know, will give his thoughts on that. I give the majority of my thoughts on it yesterday. All I'm going to say on it again is yes, I will answer questions about it, but there's no changing my mind and my thought process on that. Obviously, Eddie mentioned it again there as well about, that cup bounce. So I'm sure we'll be talking about Carabao Cup final, the FA Cup, that is March the 1st, the FA Cup 5th round against West Ham. And of course, we have Barcelona this month in the Europa League as well. So yeah, let's see what everyone's saying. Big up to Dennis, says big up Flawless and the crew, man. Big up Justice. Always here hating, but love to see it. Says I know how to use him. Get him an apron and a sharp knife and let him get after the orange slices. As a Chelsea fan, you know about poor attackers actually. So you may be right, Justice. You may be right. Big up everyone, says RJ. Larger, my little bro Bobby in the cut as well. Says hello, like the stream, everyone. Flawless, would you still do watch alongs if Mason Greenwood comes back? Personally, I don't want him back. Yes, I would still do watch alongs and still cover, but I
Yeah.
agree with you, RJ, in terms of no, I don't want him back. Big up Taza in the cut as well. And RJ's asking there, so people are going to ask Eddie thoughts on the MG11 situation.
I'll provide some context for my answer. So when I was in college, um, I worked with a lawyer, right? I worked in his
Mm,
office. I went to court with him. I did all this. So people, when I give you this perspective, I want you to understand it comes from experience in the legal system, right? And the reason I'm not working there anymore is for this simple reason. I saw way too many innocent men get put in prison, and I saw way too many guilty people walk free.
mm,
Let me say that again. I saw way too many innocent men go to prison, and I saw way too many guilty people walk free. If you're looking for the truth from the criminal justice system, you have a better chance looking for a block of ice in the Sahara Desert. It ain't there. It ain't there. And so, with this Mason Greenwood situation, you have to understand that there's a legal process to everything. And the legal process has to be respected because that's the only way the system works.
mm.
And your best thing to do in all of these situations is look for the facts and then make your own personal decision off of how you would deal with the situation. We've been marching in the streets all this time talking about how corrupt this system is. And then you want to use that to base your decision on whether or not you think Mason Greenwood should play. They have I mean, I'm in the States. Y'all know what's going on over here. Cosby violating people all the time. We have video evidence. And what happens? They get got free. Right? And people don't like talking about it, but it's the truth.
Mm.
Mason Greenwood can afford some lawyers that would draw out this process, make it terrible for every party involved, and really, you know, find a way to not so much take a harsh blow if his name was associated with this foolishness. Now, for me, that's the one side I'm at. So, whatever the legal system says, I couldn't give a F about. I'm gonna make up my own decision on this person based off the facts that I've been given. And I don't. Another thing is, I'm from Kenya, and I grew up on stories of my father telling me of a little thing called village justice. Meaning, if you screwed up and violated in a certain way, they didn't wait for the cops and police to handle that. They handled that.
Handle that themselves. Yep.
So you have to be. I'm very cautious with what I label on people,
Right.
even if you know I feel some kind of way. So while I won't use the R word. I don't want to even put that on this platform because I don't know how the algorithm does it. I can say for a certainty that that brother disrespected the hell out of that woman, and at that point in time, I can't rock with you.
Exactly.
I again, I'm not in. I don't know. You have the audio, and if you need to familiarize yourself with what this all based, listen to the audio,
Yes.
look at the photos, then make your decision. But some of y'all trying to put your cape on for this brother when he don't deserve it.
Yeah.
Come on now, do better. Do better. Because I'm telling you this right now, as somebody who's had somebody very close to them be the victim and somebody who's been the perpetrator in separate instances.
Mm-hmm.
It tears at your heart because you will never know what happened in that room. You'll never know what happened after, and you'll never know their relationship. But what you do know is somebody was disrespected. Those are the facts,
Mm-hmm.
right? Evil knows no gender, it knows no sex. So again, like I said, I've seen people go to prison for less evidence than they had against Mason Greenwood. I've seen that, people. And then I've seen guilty. Brother could have walked out with the gloves and all that, and the cops right there got arrested, but oh, he dropped the bag. So, his lawyer got him a little community service type agreement. A couple years later, it'll be expunged off your record. So y'all gotta have principles and y'all gotta have morals. And your morals should be at a higher standard than somebody else's. You should never measure your morals to somebody else. Have your standard and stick with it.
Yeah.
Right? Some people like we know. I know how treacherous people can be. I've seen
Absolutely.
it. I've seen some grisly stuff. Right? So I know I have a certain standard that I'm willing to uphold and not move for anybody. So when it comes to Mason Greenwood, people, I don't need that dude anywhere near my club. Because in addition, I'm thinking about the women fans, the
Yep.
women who are fans of the game, and the kind of message that it sends to them. That a certain man, because he scores enough goals, can disrespect you or anybody you may know who's a woman, and you'll have people here ready to come out and say, "Yeah, give him another chance." If somebody else wants to give him another chance, that's their prerogative. That's their
Yes.
prerogative. Do I think he should? Do I think he should still be playing football? Yes, because I think you can go outside and play football. But do I think he deserves to make millions of dollars and all of this stuff? Nah, fam. Nah, I'm cool. Like to have a person like that eating off of this world's beautiful game when, like I said, you have millions and millions of women fans who enjoy the game just as much as maybe you watching, or maybe even more. Nah, fam, I'm cool off that. We can't, as a club, we can't stand for that because we're Manchester United. We're not one of these little clubs who doesn't have the type of effect all around the world. We are the biggest club in the world, arguably. We cannot send the message that this is cool as long as the justice system says, "Oh yeah, the charges are dropped."
Yeah.
They say it ain't even say innocent, bro. Like
Said dropped. Yeah,
dropped,
people don't understand the difference between the two. Yes, people think because it's
dropped.
dropped is innocent. That's not the case. That's not the
Those
case.
are two different things. And
Yeah,
in my honest opinion, how he's conducted this, excuse me,
yeah, it's all good, fam.
how he's conducted himself during this entire situation leans me to the guilty side because again, I've seen innocent brothers and how they fight for their honor. Because again, to real men, you don't touch women and you don't touch kids inappropriately. Real
Mm-hmm.
men across the planet understand that regardless of where you
Yes,
grew up from.
yeah, that's two like universal laws worldwide.
Universal.
That's why
As man
even when you go to jail, they have to separate people who do those
who
things.
do all that
You know what I'm saying?
foolishness.
Yes, they have to separate. They have to put them separate from the other because the
It's
other
not
criminals are like,
sweet,
we don't fuck
people.
with that. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it's not
Hmm.
sweet. So he's found himself, and again, he's his charges were dropped. We have to be very specific with our language. His charges were dropped.
Hmm.
And I think you said on the last stream you're speaking about it when this ManDem United, and I've seen it in real life. There's only one person who could have been touching this girl like this. We go to her. Okay, it's all lined up. You ready to go to court? I'll be there. I'll be there. You think she ever showed up?
Well, like that's why they didn't go ahead. People fail to realize this with no witness. And
That's
when you
it.
don't have no CCTV footage and you have no
Oh
witnesses,
no no no
there's
no no no
nothing they can
no.
do.
Here's what's other code. Even
Hmm.
if you got CCTV footage, they still need to show up because you know
Right.
what the other side can argue. Oh, you guys didn't see what happened before this when such and such was attacking the other person, and this is their
Hmm.
self defense. That's how many you can get in these situations, bro. Like you
Hmm.
can legit understand like this. And again, that guy's a professional athlete. She's probably smaller than him. Like, come on now, people.
Hmm.
Come on now. So I'll end it like this, yo. Like Mason Greenwood don't know you, so y'all don't got to put a cape on for this brother trying to defend his honor out here in these streets. He's not
Hmm.
worth it. He's not worth your time. He's not worth your energy. He's not worth this club's time. He's not worth this club energy. And he's not worth the message it'll send to all the female supporters out there who root for this club that a guy who can disrespect women in this manner is allowed to come back and thrive. Because let's be fair. Let's be fair. Let's be not so much fair. Let's be objectively truthful, right? Let's just tell the truth. He can play. He can
Hmm.
play. He can score goals. Scoring goals gives you a certain level of attention.
Hmm.
I don't want to give that brother. I don't want him to feed off of that attention and us giving him the help that he can get it with. Like
Hmm.
the Manchester United platform is one of the biggest in the world.
Absolutely.
It's not something, you know, that you can just sit here and be like, yeah, he's playing for us. Woo, woo, woo. No, everybody will see that he's playing for us. And to somebody saying, is this the RJ? I think you're just asking, it's a Johnny Depp situation. No, you want to know why it's not a Johnny Depp situation? Because he had witnesses. She testified. They had evidence. They had a bunch of reasonable and objective truths that any reasonable person could look at and be like, okay, you know what? There is some doubt. There is some doubt. And it wasn't a criminal trial, it was a civil trial, meaning the threshold to prove guilt or to prove innocence isn't as high, right?
I
You don't
didn't
have
know
to
that.
have that. You don't have to have that. When it
Hmm.
comes to criminal, you got to be on point with everything. When it comes to like these kind of cases where they're just suing, they're suing for damages, i.e., money or some type of compensation. The threshold is not that high. So the Johnny Depp situation and this situation you can't compare because it's a criminal case versus civil case, right? A
Yep.
civil case is between two people. A criminal
Absolutely.
case is between a person and the state. So it's
Okay.
on the state to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you are guilty of this crime.
Hmm.
And without corroboration from the victim, apparently, right? You cannot think that because of what you're seeing right now and what the evidence they've given us and the evidence that we've been provided, because again, somebody felt as though they needed to save this girl. That's what y'all not. She didn't put it out.
Yeah, she didn't. But yeah,
She
she
didn't put it
didn't.
out. Somebody felt as though they were trying to. Seriously, people, they were trying to save this girl's life. That's why that stuff got leaked. It didn't get leaked because somebody has an agenda against Mason Greenwood. Well, in the context, they kind of do, but for good reason. Because they cared about this girl enough to leak those images. Which, how do you think they got them? You think
because she leaked him. Because she just put him out on their socials, and then they got him and said, right, we have enough in terms of the audio, in terms of the messages, in terms of the pictures. And let me just state this again, because Eddie's much more knowledgeable and well equipped to talk about this with me. To me, people, I'm not discussing this and going back and forth because there is no other side to me. You lot are entitled, people in the chat, entitled to think what you want to think about this situation. I am not going back and forth and discussing this. We are not discussing if a player is good enough or not. We're not here discussing if De Gea is good enough to play for Manchester United, or if Lindelof's good enough, or if Harry Kane's the right move for Manchester United, or can we get more out of Bruno if we put better players around him, or if Ten Hag's doing a job. This is much bigger than football. This is real life. So this is why there's nothing that can be said. Let me repeat this again. There is nothing that can be said. There's no new evidence that can come out that makes me change my mind on this. That's me personally. Do I have an impact on how on if Manchester United take him back? No, I'm just stating my opinion. The only reason why I'm talking about this is because you lot asked me about this. If nobody in the chat asked me about this, I would not talk about it because I don't want to talk about it. But because I get asked questions, and you lot know me, regulars know me, I don't dodge no questions. And I stated the entire time, even when people asked about him, I said, until some new news comes out about the situation, I have nothing else to say. The evidence for me is enough. If it's not enough for you lot, I don't know what else to tell you. We heard the audio, we seen the messages, we seen the pictures. I don't need to see anymore. That's just me personally. If you disagree, fair enough. But I'm not discussing this. There's no discussion. There's nothing that man mentioning Basuma and Partey. Basuma, there was no evidence. Basuma was arrested and let go. Partey should not be playing. I've stated this. Thomas Partey should not be playing for Arsenal. He shouldn't be, but you lot don't ask me about that because I'm not an Arsenal fan. But that's my opinion on whoever a player plays for. You shouldn't be playing.
Right.
Don't care if it's Manchester United, if it's Arsenal, if it's Chelsea, if it's Liverpool. I don't even care if it's Championship, League One or League Two. That's just my personal opinion. So I don't want to, again, there's no discussion on this for me. So don't ask me, there's no what ifs. There's no what about if this, and that. No. I've made up my mind. It's not changing. Simple as that. But yeah, go on, Eddie. Carry on.
Yeah, no, I mean, just to answer that, every case is unique. There's no reason, if you're smart, like if you let me not say that because again, people don't understand a lot of times how the system works. Every single case has a different set of facts. Facts, people, not opinions, facts. So we don't know all the facts in the Partey case. We don't know all the facts in the Basuma case, but I'm thinking they're all different. I know they're different. They're three different interactions. So to compare and contrast each of them is ridiculous. It gives no ground to anybody's argument. It does, because at the base level, the facts were different. Now, to people, I think I saw in here, I don't want to read, like, mess up the comment. I got two screens going. I'm trying to find my mouse.
That's cool, fam. It's all good, fam. No stress. Okay. No stress. It's all good. While we wait to do that, yo, we're at 27 likes. Let's get up to 3 likes, people. Let's go up to 30 likes. We need 3 more likes. I'm only looking for 2 more subscribers to get us to 5,160. There's just over 40 of you lot locked in. I know everybody here has not hit the subscribe
hit them
button.
Likes for real.
Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Get us up to 30 likes quickly as well, people. Because we're still 2 short now. Let's 2 more likes, 2 more subscribers. That's all we're looking for. But yeah, go on, carry on, fam.
Yeah, because I think it just let me that. Yeah, you guys, the new evidence does not take away from what we've seen.
That's it. There's no new evidence that can take away from that. I don't think people. There's nothing that can erase that. There's nothing
Again,
that can erase that, people. In my opinion,
there's
nothing.
nothing. I guess again, it's kind of like it's a bit lower level, right? It's like I know what I heard. Like it's a bit lower level, but it's so funny because the funniest thing for me was when people were asking themselves, "Is gonna snitch?" Right? And then I look at the tape. They asked this brother, "Is YSL a criminal enterprise?" They didn't say gang. They said criminal enterprise. He said, "Yes, ma'am." That's snitching. That's all I mean. That's all I needed to hear. You said, "Yes, ma'am." You gave her all the particulars and all of that. So yeah, he snitched. We can move on now. This one, I'm sorry to bring. Just going to bring some levity to it, but this situation where there's none. If you have to familiarize yourself with what was placed on the internet, go ahead and do that. There's one audio that is legit some of the most disgusting stuff I've ever heard. And the fact that he's going about it the way he is, again, it speaks to let me know more about this man and what it's reasonable to assume that he's doing when he's interacting with her. So at that point, I didn't need a court case to tell me, oh, this dude ain't worth it. I knew right then and there he's not worth it. Again, Star-Lord.
Because he says, let me be clear, I don't know, I don't care if he plays or don't play, but I do care about judgment by social media. When does that become acceptable?
No, why
that's always been that? That's always why he did this to himself. If that audio doesn't surface and he isn't a piece of shit on that audio, whether you think he's guilty or not, all of this doesn't happen. He started this. This is all on him. You know what I'm saying? Again, what happens to you, good and bad, is on you. Is your fault 99.9% of the time. If that audio does not surface, we're not here discussing it. So that's on him. If you do piece of shit things will happen to you. But again, simple as that. Simple as that. No audio, there's no thing. There's nothing. But go on.
Why would I care what social media says? Why would you?
Yeah, I don't care what social media says about him. That's on him.
This is what we're talking about, people. Make up your own decisions. Make up your own decisions. Don't, again, Star-Lord, make a decision. Do you care if he plays? Do you not care if he plays? Simple as. Do you have enough? I have enough to say, bro, don't come back and represent my club. You know why? Because we can get players who are better than him with better character. For what I think of Rashford, he's an absolute square, all of that. That brother's character, I cannot touch. I don't have enough evidence to attack his character, his credibility as a man. I have enough with this one. And again, Star-Lord, make your decision, bro.
But what if the new, again, I said, I'm not discussing this. There's no what ifs.
Yeah.
There's no what ifs.
Again, that's what I'm talking about, people.
There's no what ifs.
Flawless has made his mind up based off of how his principles and his again, you got to have principles. You got to have non-negotiables, people, when it comes to human behavior, because that's how you end up messing yourself dealing with people who you have no business dealing with. So I don't care. I don't care because I know as a man, physically, unless she's some 365-pound weightlifting offensive lineman type hybrid, and that ain't happening, bro. I ain't putting myself in a position to be next to that kind of foolishness, right? There is nothing you can do. You can never, as a man, impose yourself physically on a woman, bro, and even mentally. We're talking about what he was saying in that audio. If what do y'all need help? Like this, he doesn't. Okay, he's not okay. You know what? The charger dropped. Woo. Listen to the audio. Think for yourself. Look at some of the images. For me, it's that simple, cut and dry. And people, again, I don't want to have Flawless have to litigate himself all on this. He gave y'all his decision. We can move on because, again, this is what I'm talking about with the foolishness. We cannot, as a society, sit here, cover our eyes when foolishness is upon us, and then ask ourselves why. Oh, how come people aren't changing their minds? How come people? Because they closing their eyes. They're not taking in the information. They're closing their ears. They're closing their eyes. They are not taking the information that's in front of them, and they're creating some kind of reality for themselves that makes them feel a little bit better about the decisions that they make. If you don't care about what happened to that girl, go ahead and say Mason Greenwood can play. Say it, stand on it. That's your prerogative. Don't ask another person why this, why that. How can you? You're not going to change their mind because certain people have certain principles about certain things.
And that's where I'm at. Like I said, there's no what ifs, there's no if buts, there's no new evidence, there's nothing that can change what has already been out there. There's nothing. She could come out today and be like, he didn't do it, or and all this. We heard it. You know what I'm saying? And that we heard it. Like simple as that. So there's no what ifs. There's no what ifs. All this nonsense. Oh, what if this? What if that? No, I'm not changing my mind on this, and that's my opinion on it. Simple as that. You know what I'm saying? And that.
Listen,
that's what it is.
Listen. Star Lord. And don't block him because I think this kind of conversation needs to exist.
Unfortunately, yes, it does, and I like Star-Lord in terms of football, but it is. But like now we're changing. The reason why we're not even going to go into this nonsense
the goalpost.
Now we're moving to go. Oh, what if a woman came out with you with a knife and a gun? Did she have a knife and a gun?
Just let her kill me. Come on now,
bro. Yeah. Of course, you go defend yourself.
Let's not ask dumb questions.
Yeah. Did she have a knife and a gun in that situation? Like
in a situation, the likes of what Greenwood found himself in, with a girl who I presume is significantly out athlete, however you want to say it. Like she's not stronger. She doesn't train every day. She's not out here kicking. Like she's not out here doing that, working on her physical fitness. Like y'all gotta chill, bro. It's not that deep. It's like this for me. He disrespected the hell out of her so much to the tune that images, because these images never come off the internet. That picture of her lip being bloody is going to be on the internet till the end of time. That's a certain level of disrespect that I just can't get with. And I said before, before I even started any of this conversation, evil knows no gender.
Facts.
Anybody can be evil. It's two kinds of people in this world: good people and bad evil. Word to my father who gave me that lesson. It's up to you who decide who falls on either line of that. I've seen enough. I don't need to see anything else Mason Greenwood when it comes to his character.
Facts.
You can talk, y'all people can talk about rehabilitation, all that stuff. I understand there's a space for that. But what there isn't a space for is us eliminating his actions from our mind and acting like he's some type of victim in this process. The brother is a multi-millionaire footballer who can have anything at his disposal, and yet he still decides to disrespect the woman in that fashion. And y'all want to get on here and try to defend him or defend his honor. I'm cool. Y'all can do that.
Yeah.
Don't try and change my mind. Don't try and change Fox's mind. Don't try and change anybody's mind who's standing on he can no longer represent any football club that I appreciate.
Yeah,
that's it, people. That's all I have.
And Eddie, you put that in better terms, like I said, than I could, because you're more knowledgeable about this situation than me. As one of my bros who's closest to me, who's a police officer, and he was explaining why happened and that. But yeah, and he told me in detail about like why it was dropped and how things work and how he deals with this on a daily basis. But like Peter said, big up to Pete. We're not talking about a situation where we don't know the specifics. We know what's going on. So we're talking about him, we're talking about her, and the information that has come out. There's no new evidence. Again, let me repeat this. This is why I'm not going back and forth. There's no new evidence. There's no new information that could come out that makes me go, yeah, he was right to do what he did. He's okay. He should play again, in my opinion. Simple as that. So I'm not discussing it. I'm not going back and forth about this. Simple as that. I say, you lot can ask questions about it. Cool. But because I actually like you lot and I don't want to fall out with anybody, that's why I'm just like, yo, you know my stance on it. You lot know my stance on it. I'm not saying you can't ask questions, but cool. Because you don't know I don't duck no questions. But are you going to change my mind? No. Don't hit me with no what ifs. If new evidence, if charges is dropped, if Manchester United let him back, if I see him holding up the shirt tomorrow, nothing will change my mind. Nothing, people. So let me just state that. Over 60 of you lot locked in. Big up, big up. We've got 8 short. I'd say some of you lot just dislike women as well, which is crazy. But we're 8 short of 50 likes. Let's get up to 50 likes, and we have hit the first subscriber milestone. We are at 5,160. We're looking for 5 more. There's over 60 of you lot locked in. We're looking for 5 more subscribers. So let's get to 5,165 subs, and we're looking for 8 more likes, people. Let's get up. Right, we're 5 short now. And hit that subscriber button as well. Let's get to this next subscriber milestone. I big up my little bro Bobby in the building. Says, what's your thoughts on Sabitzer? I'll let you answer that first, Eddie. Thoughts on Sabitzer?
Oh man. Hey, first off, let's just say what needs to be said. I'm down with any white boy named Marcel. That's what I'm gonna say first and foremost. Shout out to White Jerome, my homie White Jerome. You know where you at, Playboy? Who was out there killing him on the court. Shout out to White Jerome. Shout out to White Marcel. You know what I'm talking about? No, you know I'm with it. Come on, man. This said Marcel Sabitzer. I'm like, Marcel? Where's that brother from? Liberia? Ghana? And they showed me the picture. I said, oh, okay. I'll take that. Yeah, man. I'm here for it because he's a Red Bull product. He's a Red Bull product, so he has some energy about him. He had to fit a certain profile. He's it's gonna sound crazy me saying it, and I think the jury is still out on this, but I seriously do believe for our system, for what we need, he could somewhat be an upgrade on Eriksson, right? For all Eriksson does on the ball, there's a lot that brother doesn't do without it, you know? And another thing is just, I love him as a player. I love his story, but you can tell physically he's not being able to withstand the amount of games that we have coming from a week-to-week basis. Now we get somebody who's younger, who plays with a certain level of tenacity, and I damn near want to put him in that can't go back category because you don't want to go back to the bench. You know, hey, but Bayern had that brother on 23-hour lockdown. I don't think he want to be back over there no more. So that's what I'm saying. He might not be able to go back. You know, different situation. Of course, that I can't go back all stars we gonna see this weekend. But
can't go back all stars.
I'm telling you, that brother don't want to go back there. You know what it is.
You trying to play? Yeah, you trying to play? Yeah.
You trying to get that paper. You know, you can't get that paper riding pine. You can't do it. So I think he'll be a welcome addition. I think he'll be excited to play with us. And I'm just interested to see what our creativity looks like because I did enjoy, and we'll get to it, Sancho in the 10 yesterday.
We'll get to that because people have mentioned it. So we will get to that.
Yeah, we got to get to it, bro. We got it because
we will.
I was seeing the future. And I got the shades on, but the future's looking real bright, boy. It's looking real bright. So Sabitzer is going to be a welcome addition. It's going to be, again, we lost Eriksson, unfortunately. How long? They say how long?
They said April. They're looking at. Yeah, it's that long. Yeah, it's a long period of time. They're saying April.
What they do? Amputate his leg or something?
Nah, the tackle was that bad. You know, I think when Carroll's tackled him, his legs got like.
No, yeah, his leg got caught under. I saw that. Yeah. It looked bad when I was watching it.
So they're saying 3 months. Yeah, so February, March. Yeah, they're saying April. I think yeah, so pretty much could be actually because the season's been extended because of the World Cup. Yeah. He could be back for like the important part of the season, like May, June times, because I believe like the Europa League final, FA Cup final are in June. So it's like that's how long the season's been extended. How long the season's been extended. So hopefully he's back for the business end of the season, and it's Sabitzer and Eriksson and Casemiro and Fred. And then Ten Hag has a lot of options. Let's hope so.
Yeah, he has a lot of that's what I like the profile of our midfield, especially if it's we understand who's gonna be there, you know. Sabitzer, Bruno, and Casemiro. The Bruno part, I just got to get with. I just got to
get with it, fam.
Just got to learn to accept reality, people.
There will be times where we see him. We mentioned it already, where Bruno will be played out wide, and it's Sancho in the 10, as we see.
That's where he needs to be. I don't think we again. Sancho is a better 10 than Bruno. I just come to the fact that I don't know what position Bruno plays. I just know he on his Pat Beverly vibe. He just run around a lot. He trick y'all. That's like, if we really want to get into it, Bruno Fernandes is the epitome of that Russell Westbrook quote. He don't be doing much out there. He just run around and trick y'all. That's it. That brother, I'm looking at him. I'm looking at him next to Weghorst. Then he in midfield. Then he with the center backs. What the hell is you doing, man? Have some positional awareness. Like, okay, but yeah, I'm excited for Sabitzer. I think he's kind of what I think Ten Hag would like his midfield to look like. Very sound on the ball.
Yeah.
Some dogs. And if they need to, can get you a goal. That's what I think he wants out of all of his midfielders. And some level of awareness for where you need to be at. Because I think for him being in that Red Bull system, he understands the importance of maintaining his space, maintaining where he belongs in our press, maintaining where he can play somebody in. Yeah, it's just like, that's how it has to be. That's how it has to be. I think we needed him. The sooner we can get him on the pitch, the better. But I don't mind starting a Fred this. But even because it's Crystal Palace, right, we're going to have the ball.
Yes.
A majority of the time. They're going to sit back. Hopefully we don't give them any free kicks in the 95th minute for them to have their rosary process answered for. Like, yeah, they got a bunch of praying brothers on that squad, because God had to intervene. That's where I'm at with that one. God had to intervene and guide that into the top post, bro, because that was ridiculous. But we'll get on to that. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, to little bro, yeah, thoughts on Sabitzer. I personally don't know a lot about him, but from his profile and when I talk to the likes of Jez, when I talk to the likes of Aaron who watch the Bundesliga, they speak highly of him. I like when I hear, and when I'm told about his profile, I like that in terms of being 2-footed, technically sound, energetic, knows where the goal is. You got that dog in him as well. I like that. And he's going to add to what we already have in that midfield. So yeah, I'm with it. And in January, I was saying, just bring me players. I don't care who it is. So the fact that we went and signed him and we went and signed Weghorst, I'm over the moon. That is an ideal no.
Yeah.
But Manchester United are not dealing with the ideal situation. The fact that we waited to the last day of the window to go and improve our squad is terrible. The fact we was linked with him, we got linked with Carrasco, we got linked with Hassan Mawar. We should have signed more than one, to be honest. We should have got more than one midfielder, because we need more than one midfielder. Because our squad is still light. It's starting to bolster now. And we now have 2 players for every position, but now the quality's shot. And that's the issue. But yeah, with Sabitzer, I'm over the moon about it. And he could be key in Manchester United having success. If he's anywhere near the level of Eriksen, or he's equal to it or better, we've got one hell of a player on our hands. Akil says Sabitzer could start tomorrow, potentially. Taza here says, you lot continue to ask your questions, keeping Manchester United related. I've started him because we were talking about the Greenwood situation. We're a little bit behind, but there's still over 70 of you lot locked in right now, which is big. Let's get up to 60 likes, people. We're only looking for 5. We're only looking for 5 more likes. I'm only looking for 4 new subscribers. I know some of you lot watching are new. If you have joined, if you are rolling through the sea of sarcasm, that's the toll. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. That is all you have to do. So let's get up to 5,165 subscriber check, man. Let's do so. And more people just joined. Now over 80. So let's get up to 70 likes. Forget that. Let's go 70 likes. We're looking 13 more likes. Let's go up to around 58. Let's go up to 70 likes and hit the subscriber button if you're new. Taza says, Jaden Tencho. Yeah, you're the only one saying that. Talk to me. Before Eddie says, I wanted Garnacho. Clearly the manager did as well, and the brother wasn't right. Now he's back and he's cooking. Tencho, gang originator. We here and alive. Just pointing out there that Tencho is solely Taza calling Sancho that. I'm not with it. But I am with Sancho in the 10. Yeah. But with Sancho in the 10, I waxed lyrical about this the entire time he was gone, and said, I don't want to see him playing out wide. I think he has all the attributes to play in the 10. And when I'm saying, how does Ten Hag get the best out of him? Playing him in the 10. Got all the attributes. You know what I'm saying? Link up play, smart, intelligent, giving goals, 1-2s. He's got a little trick, a little shimmy, and can play on the half turn as well, and can see a pass. Jadon Sancho, to me, is the epitome of what I want from my number 10, especially when you're dominating the ball. Just keeps the ball ticking, very tidy in possession. Extremely, very, how do I put this? Very Juan-Mata-esque in that sense. And when I say that, people, I'm not saying he's the level of Juan-Mata. I'm saying the way Juan-Mata took care of the ball Jadon Sancho is like that. Like, he passes with purpose. You don't just pass for it to get there. He passes it with purpose. Eriksen is very much the same as well. He'll pass the ball with purpose, because people think just because you complete a successful pass means it's a good pass. Some passes should be floated into somebody. Some passes should be drilled in. Some should just be ahead of the player to run onto. Some should just be laid off so they can shoot. There's different passes for different scenarios in a match. And one thing I like about Sancho, when I see, even when he played against Forest, he's very particular. But Christian Eriksen's another one who's very good at that. Juan Mata was one of the best ever at that, in terms of him taking care with the ball and not, I'm just gonna fire this into you, and if you control it, you control it. So yeah, Sancho in the 10, I'm fully with. Lil Bro says, do you think Greenwood will make it onto the bench? No, because someone asked about this as well. Manchester United are doing their own investigation on this. What that entails, I don't know. But one thing I can say, with him being arrested and everything that's gone on, he has brought the club into disrepute. Now it's on the club to file the investigation and see what goes on, because we don't know exactly what is in that contract. So yes, Manchester United are doing their own investigation, and we'll soon find out we'll soon get the results of it, however long that takes, however long it takes. Big up JB says, big up Flawless from India. Large up, man. In the
Shout
building.
out to you, man.
Jeffrey says, big up Flawless. I would personally go strong today. It says tomorrow, but I hear you, Jeffrey. But Leeds at home start Sancho in the 10, Martial back. And what does internal investigation mean? Internal investigation is just a private investigation. So they'll do their own research into it. Because like I said, he's technically brought the club into disrepute. Where that falls, whether they can dismiss and terminate someone's contract for that, I don't know, because I'm not.
It's all about the language. It's all about the language that they. So when they say internal investigation, that means they have their own legal team working on it, and they also have what's called a risk assessment team, i.e., what is the negative impact of us bringing him back based on whether it be a personal level at the club or financially, which again, because it's a business, is probably at the top of the list. And the type of negative publicity bringing back this type of player to the club could create. So all that, and then if I'm them, depending on what information they get, they could have. I'm pretty sure they have language in his contract where, if it's conduct unbecoming of the club, certain words like that they'll put together. Like, it's all about the wording, and it's all about the evidence you have to support whatever wording you put in whatever document you place forward to terminate the contract, or they can even sell them. Like, anything can happen. So I think the thing with Ronaldo should give you guys some indication, right?
Yeah, because they did the same. They had a similar statement.
The same thing with Ronaldo. They said his conduct was unbecoming of a club member. So I'm sure there are some stipulations, but the issue that arises is whether or not his is in the language in Mason Greenwood's contract is strictly saying that any type of criminality gives us grounds. If it's because there's no criminality because nobody has ever found guilty.
Yeah.
Is there something else in his contract that outlines that there's a place for conduct detrimental to the club? That's what they're doing. So I think that's just the process. It's just
we'll see. Well, yeah, people were saying in the chat yesterday that the statement Manchester United made after Ronaldo did the interview with Piers Morgan is very, very, very similar to the one with Greenwood. So he'll probably be let go.
Yeah.
And I hope so, people. I'm not gonna lie. I hope Manchester United, you know what I'm saying, let him go. I don't want to see him in the shirt. Do I have any impact on that? No, again, it's my personal opinion on it. But I don't want to see him in the Manchester United shirt again. Absolutely not. No.
Right.
Big up Custard Clips. Sometimes I might be too busy to watch the whole stream right now, so I just pass by to like the vid and be out. We'll watch that. Appreciate
the love, man.
Appreciate that, man. And that's everyone in it. I know people be busy, and if you lot watch the lives back after, that's cool. But if you can, drop a like, drop a like, drop a comment, and then go about your business. That's cool, and then catch up with it later. Much appreciated in that. Steven says, Flawless, who do you think has earned their starting position under Ten Hag? All the players who've been performing. De Gea, Martinez, Varane, Luke Shaw's been playing well, Casemiro, of course, Rashford, those ones, the mainstays. You know what I'm saying the 5 or 6 I just named there. I'm saying your goalkeeper, your 2 centre backs. Luke Shaw's been in good form. Casemiro, of course. Rashford, those 6. That's what I would say. Dennis says, question to Flawless and Eddie, can you see Sancho starting versus Palace? It could happen. Do I think it will? No. But it could happen, but I don't think so. Yeah, go on, Eddie.
No, I think the manager can't, bro, him in that 10. Let me tell you something, man. That was the first time I felt I'd seen 1-2s in the middle of the pitch. I don't know how long. Brother. Like somebody can actually put the ball at their feet, scan, pass, get it back. And to your point, like it is Mata-esque because he has that finesse and he has that ability to play passes in tight windows, whether it needs to be a bit harsher the pass or a bit softer the pass. He has a perfect gauge of that. And it's fitting that, again, them 3 brothers come onto the pitch and 2 goals instantly. He's involved some way. Bruno gets the assist, but it's Sancho who plays the pass to Bruno to play it across to Rashford, and then Rashford plays it easily to Fred, right? Mm-hmm. The build-up play for the Martial goal, Sancho's involved. You see there's a certain connection that all 3 have when they're playing with each other that you have to appreciate as a fan. But I think just because it's so raw, the Martials and the Sanchos coming back, that you don't want to rush them into, again, people. It's an easy game, but it's not. We playing some can't go backers. Like this is not gonna be a walk in the park, man. It's gonna be a bar fight.
Even though they're not in good form, it's definitely not gonna be easy. It definitely won't be. And big up to you lot as well, because we've got 64 likes. Let's go up to 70 people. Let's do so. 6 more likes.
You know what I'm saying? Know what to do.
Let's go up. And we hit the 2nd subscriber milestone. Big up you lot. 5,165. Now we're looking for 5,000.
Oh, this is my first time. Congratulations, Mr. 5K. You did it, my boy. It's only up. We getting up there, boy.
Let's go, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. 100%, fam. And appreciate all your contributions as well. And we're going to get to this road to 6K people. Yeah. So let's go. Let's 5 more subscribers. There's 70 of you lot locked in. I know everybody here, again, is not subscribed. If you enjoy the content and you want more of it, you know what I'm saying, hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell as well. We're live every day, people, on the channel. Twice a day, more often than not. But we're live every day, people. We're twice a day during the working week. Monday to Friday, twice a day. Saturdays and Sundays sometimes. Well, I'm saying we're live at least once a day. Where else are you getting this? So hit the subscribe button. And let's get up to 70 likes as well.
Hit the like, or I'll put you in the same bag as Murtaza putting Garnacho over Sancho. We got the footage, Murtaza. Don't try and rewrite history.
You better joke.
You ain't Doctor Strange. you ain't. Y'all can't do that. You ain't got the facilities for that, big man. We seen you in the light. Man.
You had a jokes. Big up Justice, who says, are you worried that if something happens to Varane or Casemiro, you have no one quality to replace them? Yeah, Justice. Man. I've been banging on about this all season long in terms of how thin our squad is in terms of not just quantity, but quality. I don't, because the drop-off between our first teamers and our squad players is too big. Of course, there's going to be a drop-off. It's very rare that you get world-class, top-class squad players. Manchester City are the exception to the rule. The squad they have, that is not normal. But most other teams, every other team in the Premier League don't have that. This is why when I see people turning up their nose at certain players, I'm like, why do you think you're going to sign a world-class player and he's going to be on your bench? Like when I said I would take Onana at Manchester United and people turn their nose up. And I'm like, he would be a good squad player to have. Who are you going to go and get? People say, oh, let's go and get Lavia. Lavia, who left Manchester City to go to Southampton because he wanted game time, is going to come to Manchester United and sit on the bench. And I rate Lavia from what I've seen. But if you're signing Lavia, he wants to start. Same with Caicedo, who's at Brighton. If he's coming to your football club, he wants to start. This is why when people was like, oh, why are Arsenal signing Jorginho? It's because Jorginho won't demand game time. People get it. I think people really get it misconstrued in terms of first teamers and how important squad players are as well. Because squad players, not only do you need them to be good enough, their mentality has got to be right. Because if you're world class, why do you want to be on the bench?
Oh, man, yeah. Caicedo's finna look great in that Arsenal. Oh, my fault. My bad. But hey, you know what though? I gotta say this too.
Yeah, go on,
Sometimes a madman is right, man. Sometimes a madman is right. Shout out to Timo. Shout out to Timo.
Yeah, shout out Timo. Timo crazy, man. Big up Timo.
Timo
Timo
took
nuts.
his lumps.
Yeah,
And
Timo
he's
crazy.
laughing at that.
Timo crazy, man. He really is. Timo
He's
nuts.
like, has he been back on stream with the backdrop? Has he been back with the Enzo backdrop?
Yeah. He's gassed, man. Man over. He talking Spanish. You know what I'm saying? He's talking Spanish. I'm like, yo, English, fam. You know what I'm saying? And that. That's like English. But yeah, back to your question, Jesters. Yeah. So it's kind of like I'm very worried about Varane or Casemiro. I really want Manchester United to sign.
God.
In an ideal world, this summer, I want us to sign 2 centre backs and I want us to sign 2 midfielders because the drop off Maguire and Lindelof are not close enough to Martinez and Varane.
Yeah.
Our backup Fred and McTominay are not close enough to Eriksen and Casemiro. So I want improvements in those areas.
Yeah.
I want improvements, but that's just me because Maguire and Lindelof aren't it. Fred and McTominay are not it. Wan-Bissaka, even though he's playing well, I don't get fooled by good form. Going forward long term as a squad player, Wan-Bissaka has been playing well. Don't get me wrong, but I want improvement in that area. If we're gonna go and compete on all fronts, and it's shaping up next season to everybody gonna be strong. That's how it's shaping up when you look at it. You know what I'm saying? And the Arsenal are doing what Arsenal are doing right now. Manchester City are gonna go again. Chelsea are probably going to spend another 600 million in the summer. Newcastle are improving and going to spend big money as well. Liverpool could get Qatari owned. That's 5. The only one that's not really doing anything is Spurs. Maybe Liverpool if they don't get new owners. But look at everyone around. Like I said, I mentioned Arsenal. I mentioned Manchester City. I mentioned Chelsea. Those 3 more than likely will be stronger next season. So we need to make sure that we're at a level to compete. So yeah, I am worried about those 2. Definitely. And I'm hoping they don't get injured because I believe they are key to our success this season. Because we will get onto the cups as well, people. Don't worry about that, like how we're going in the cups and how Ten Hag has just reached his first cup final at the first time of asking. Eric Ten Hag says Ten Hag is attempting to give key players 2 positions, primary and secondary, very shrewd. Yeah, man, he's being very, very clever. He's being very, very clever. But he's a very smart individual, as you can see. Justice says, do you think a player like Bruno will be moved on this summer as he doesn't exactly fit what the manager wants? Hey, this is definitely a question for you to answer first, Eddie. Time is yours.
Unfortunately, no, because he understands the connection that this player has with the fans. People, I don't get it. And again, do I think he would sell? I think he would sell Bruno if he could in a heartbeat. I really do. Again, he starts out centrally, but if you've watched our games, Ten Hag moves him that brother to the right as soon as he can. As soon as he can. So I don't think he'll be sold. I think he's here for the long haul. I think like next year he'll be named captain. I think he could become a squad player though. I think he could be a player who's getting subbed out regularly. But again, his energy and his availability is, I think, the only world-class things about him. And I think for that reason, the manager will find a useful spot for him. Peter Codalo, that's hella funny. I haven't heard that one before, but I know exactly who that is. So I appreciate the love, my guy. But yeah, he won't get sold. He won't get sold.
Yeah, in regards to this, no, I don't think he'll be sold because there's much bigger holes in the squad. That's how I look at it. Do I think eventually he'll be moved on in terms of him not being a first teamer or him maybe being on the bench or him being sold? Yes. But as of right now, we have many other issues.
Yeah, and it's not like a pressing issue for us to sell him. Again, like for the Ten Hag system, the energy, you need it, and we need the bodies. We're not at a space where we can be kind of, relaxed about having bodies in the squad when the drop off in talent is just not high enough for us to have that kind of mentality. Like we drop Bruno, then what you gonna do? Play the kids? Yeah. We drop Bruno, then
and let me just kill this dead. You're not fans of Bruno? Is he not best young midfielder? He's not even top 2.
No,
he's not even top 2.
No,
he's not top 2. Eriksen's better. Casemiro's better. And if Sabitzer is good as people making out, Sabitzer will be
He
better.
might be.
Yes. So
He
let's
might
just
be,
kill
you
that. Let's
know.
just kill that dead.
Yeah.
He's not even top 2 midfielders for Manchester United. No, he's not. Well, yeah, go on, carry on. Sorry, fam.
Yeah. Shout out to Cameron. That's it. Cass is our best midfielder. It's end conversation. Cass is our best midfielder.
Yes,
So
without
we
doubt.
go as he goes, right? And to that question about the injuries, yes, like I love Fred, but you can't give me the head of our line after Casemiro was Fred. No, 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 no.
No.
Fred is a complementary player,
Yes.
meaning you can't give him the lion's share of the responsibility. You give him enough to be involved in the game, but you don't want him making decisions, the first one making decisions with the ball and receiving it and trying to play it out to somebody else. That's not what you want. Fred to win the ball back, be a nuisance to the other team's best midfielder, and on those kind of secondary runs, make an impact, whether that be playing the pass for somebody to score a goal or score the goal like he's been doing these past couple games against this level of competition.
No.
So that's where I'm at with him. I don't think, I think if they told me an upgrade was available at Fred's expense in the midfield department, I'd be like, I'd hope he could stay, but I'd understand if, he has to go for this guy to come in. Like if you tell me De Jong, in order for the De Jong thing to work, we got to give up Fred. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's no
100%.
problem. No problem.
Absolutely, goddamn lutely. And you lot, big up you lot, man. Been on it with the like check, been on it with the subscriber check. We're at 74 likes. Let's bump that up to 80 likes, people. 6 more. Let's bump that up to 80 likes. Share this across all of the socials as well. You can go to Twitter and Instagram. Mine at That's Me Flawless, or even the Sarcasm City TV, Twitter and Instagram. You can retweet and like from Twitter, share from Instagram. Let's get as many people in here as possible because over 85 of you lot locked in. So let's get up to 80 likes. And we hit the subscriber mark as well. Like I said, 5,170,
Shout out to y'all.
5,170. We're looking for 5 more. Everyone who's just joined, I know all of you lot who have just joined are not subscribed. Hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell as well. Let's get us up to 5,175 people. We're looking for, we're at 78 likes now. Let's 2 more. Let's get us up to 80 and let's hit that subscribe button as well. Matthew says, what do you think about Palestri? I really can't see why he wasn't sent out on loan, as I just can't see him getting any game time, especially now with Sancho back. But I see a player in Palestri. He was out on loan though, Matthew. He was out on loan last season. As for him, he was out on loan. Yeah, he definitely was. Was he not in? I swear he was in Spain. He was at Alaves or something like that. The chat will know. Or he was in Spain.
Yeah.
But in regards to Palestri, I think for this season, he can be an impactful player. When you are quick and you are direct, he gives us something different on that right-hand side. Again, after next season, I don't know. But the fact that he's there as an option, I'm with. Because he's very, not to the level of Garnacho, but very similar to Garnacho is why I like him. I've seen Palestri like once and I'm like, okay, you can be used 100% because you're just quick and you're just direct. And if there's space to run into, I'm with it. And again, it's something different. And we need all the help we can get.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my thoughts on Palestri. What will happen to him in the summer? I don't know. But as of right now, he can help us. What are you saying about Palestri, Eddie?
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan.
Yeah, no,
Really
I knew you
not.
wouldn't be. I knew you wouldn't be.
But for where we are, you need him. You need him to run around a bit. Like, you need him to be a part of games, certain games. I'm surprised he wasn't put out on loan because I need to see something from him. Like I've watched a couple of Ahmad's games. I've seen it. Okay, we got something we can work with there because he's being put in every kind of situation and he's still shining. Palestri, from what I've seen, I'm not the biggest fan, but who knows? Again, you could say the same thing about Delo. I always go back to Delo when it comes to loans. Delo went to AC, came back, and he hit the ground running, right?
Facts.
He was decent at the World Cup, RJ, but a lot of players who we now see were decent at the World Cup are a bit shaky when it comes to this club life. Yeah, he's just a part of the situation where with the youngsters, at least with Mano, you can see he's a bit more composed when he gets the ball in the short stint that he's been out there. Like he doesn't look rushed, which is a good thing. But with Palestri, like he's giving me slower Garnacho vibes to where he's direct, but his directness isn't as effective because he isn't as quick. And when he's been given loads of space, he's made the correct passes from what I've seen, but that's because of who we're playing against. I still think, but he's young, so I don't want to close the door on him too much, but I haven't
he's
seen
21, I think. He's 21.
Yeah, I haven't seen a whole lot. I haven't seen a whole lot to be like, yeah, this is the guy that we need. Like I would definitely, because I think what's our left wing situation? Because I think
it's Rashford Garnacho over there.
Yeah, we should buy another one.
If we did, I wouldn't mind it. You know what I'm saying? And that.
Yeah,
I'm not against it 100%. Let's see what's going on. Again, you lot continue to get your questions in. Just keep it Manchester United related. And big up to Cameron as well. Good to see you in the chat, my guy. Good to see you in the chat. Theo says, flawless turning up is work rate. Yeah, man, we leveling up. I said this, man, this year. We leveling up the work rate, man. We're leveling up. So big up. Big up from Yard, the panel. Hey, big up RH. Good to see my Jamaicans in the building. Love that. If we get the FA Cup and EFL Cup, you think our manager can push these players to go for a hunt in the Premier League if there is some form of drop-off from the others? No stress. I don't think there will be enough of a drop-off from both Manchester City and Arsenal for Manchester United to go for the league, number one. Number two, I don't think we're good enough to go and win the Premier League. However, FA Cup and League Cup are there. They are there for the taking. Europa League as well. We can do a cup treble. That's why I call it a treble and not the treble. It's on. Do I believe we win all 3 trophies? No. Do I think we win 2 out of 3? Yes. I think we win the Carabao Cup, and then I think it's the FA Cup or the Europa League, which would be incredible. 2 trophies. Absolute fire season, 100%, and cementing ourselves as one of the best teams in the league as well. If we were to finish third, I'm like, all right, yeah. We got 2 trophies and we're now the 3rd best team in the league. And then that's now a platform to build on next season. Because if we have a transfer window this coming summer like we had the last summer, I'm expecting a title charge. Not to win it, but we should be in. Because I believe we're just a level short and we are 4 or 5 players away. But obviously it has to be the 4 or 5 right players. But in Ten Hag, I trust because I like all of his signings. Daredevil says, big up Flawless Eddie and everyone else. Love from the USA. Palace won't be easy tomorrow, even though we're at home. Absolutely not. Palace will not be easy. He says, Vardio, the Croatian centre-back, as a squad/bench player, and Onana or Lima from Leipzig as CDM if Casemiro gets injured. What do you think, my friend? Vardio's not coming here to be a bench player. Vardio's good enough to go wherever and play. So he's going to want to start. So as much as I would want Vardio at Manchester United from what I've seen, it's not going to happen. Onana's the perfect bench player. I've said this already. Perfect squad player. I like his profile. He wouldn't cost a lot. He's not coming in with big wages. Playing in the Premier League. Everton, whether they get relegated or if they do get relegated, that lowers his price as well. Because then we're negotiating from a stronger position of power. But 30 to 40 M's for Onana, to me, is a steal. If there's a better replacement for Casemiro than him, I don't know. Better backup, I should say. I don't know. Again, but that's a profile thing. I like the physical players. Gets across the ground, tackles well. Aerially can help us both defensively and offensively as well. I've been a big fan. I've been waxing lyrical about Onana for the past 2-3 months now. From when I seen him, I'm like, yo, who's this 6'5" brother playing in midfield for Everton? So yeah, I'm with it 100%. Suits the Premier League down to a T. Suits the profile we have in there already. Suits like won't be bullied, aggressive. Like I like that. Stands up to the challenge. Even when we played against him, I'm like, yeah, I like Onana. A big up Cameron as well. Says, I've been meaning to ask Flawless, what's your opinion of the job Myrtle has done so far? To tell you the truth, Cameron, I'd be lying. What does Myrtle actually do? I actually don't know what he does. Like, because people criticize, because I don't really concern myself with the upstairs business in terms of people doing their individual jobs. I get onto the Glazers because his Glazers out 110%, 24/7, 25/8 Glazers out. But in terms of Myrtle, I'm not sure what he's doing. But Manchester United should be doing better in the transfer window. That's what I will say. Justice says, what about De Jong for Bruno? All day long. Of course. Yes. All day long. Yo, you on mute, fam? All day long, Justice.
Twice on Sunday.
Yeah, all day long. All day long. You know what I'm saying? All day long, De Jong for Bruno. And Justice said, if you need 2 centre-backs and 2 midfielders this summer, what you need to sell an asset. We got plenty. I won't call them assets, but we got plenty of players to sell.
Yeah.
All these backup players, in my personal opinion, can go. We could sell Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire, McTominay, Fred. Yeah, those 5. And get replaced. Obviously, that's not going to happen, but they're all, if we were to sell any of those 5, I have no issue with it whatsoever. We just need to replace him. I don't want to sell him and not replace him. And we've heard rumors just this past month gone that Maguire wanted to leave and teams was interested in him. Inter Milan were interested in Maguire. Inter Milan were also interested in Lindelof. McTominay, Newcastle, he had interest from Newcastle and he wanted more game time. All the players I want to leave are not getting game. All the players who are rumored to be leaving are players I don't want us to keep. And they improve. A selling of a McTominay and bringing in a better midfielder improves our team. Same with Maguire, same with Lindelof, same with Wan-Bissaka. That's how I'm looking at it. And then if we need a 10, because Donny will probably be moved on. So we need a 10, or Sancho might be that 10. Diallo will come back. He'll compete on the right wing, him and Antony. Then you got Garnacho and Rashford on the left. Strikers as well. That's where it's key. We need at least 2 strikers. We need at least 2. And we are going to sign at least 1 striker. Who that striker is the $1 million question. But hey, there's over 90 of you lot locked in. That is big. Let's get up to 90 likes, people. Let's get up to 90 likes and subscribe if you're new. Like check 1212. Let's do so. You know what I'm saying? And now let's bump up them likes to 90 likes, people. 6 more. That's all we're looking for. And we're only looking for 5 new subscribers. And I have put together the mod squad as well. If you're here on a regular basis and you want to be a part of the mod squad, which is just the moderators who help pattern the chat, let me know. Just either drop your @ in the chat or get at me on Twitter or Instagram, people. Just comment on my last post on Instagram or the same on Twitter as well. And yeah, we're still 5 short, people. Let's get up to 5,125 because there's just under 100 of you lot in here. I'm saying there's more people in here than a match day at the Etihad. Let's bump up the likes and let's subscribe, people. You know what I'm saying? Big up to you lot. And yes, RJ, Chelsea versus Fulham watch along will be happening tonight on the Twitch, people. All you have to do, people, is check out the upcoming live stream schedule on the Twitch and here on the YouTube. It lets you know all the shows that are coming up. MJ says, big up, both of you. Just got here. Big up to MJ. Missing out on Felix was a big loss. Special player and perfect behind the type of striker we need in the summer. What's your thoughts on João Felix, actually? Do you believe we missed out? Would you take him in the summer?
Yeah, of course, I'm a big fan. I don't think he's a central player in the Prem. I just think that because the Prem is so much more than just technical ability, with regards to like a La Liga, where technical ability can get you far. Like you have to actually be like one of them athletes who can somewhat battle and somewhat be technically sound in the middle of the park. And while the technically sound in the middle of the park thing applies to him, being a striker and all that, like the false 9 and all that, they don't really work here, right? I do think him playing with a Rashford type is like, if he could be a 10, no question. Like I feel like he could be. I feel like he's the type of a player where you just put him in attack and let him do his thing, right? I think he can, because of what he is, he can absorb a lot of that responsibility. Yeah, I would have enjoyed him at United because he's a great player. And great players make it work wherever they go. So Chelsea got lucky. Well, no, they got that bag. So they didn't really get lucky. They got that bag. Yeah, I think he'll do well, but I don't think he ends up staying because I think Madrid understand that if Simeone is leaving and we get somebody who appreciates his talent, you don't let a commodity like that go. You just don't. He's young. He's a shirt seller. He's Portugal is right down the street. So it works out in their best interest for him to continue to be a Madrid player.
Yeah. In regards to it, I don't think it was a big loss. No, I know João Felix is talented, and I'm a fan in terms of very talented footballer. However, my only issue with him was, and I was stating this, and Eddie touched on it briefly there, the lack of physicality, because he's not P and P. You know what I'm saying? And when you are not pace and power, specifically in the Premier League, but you're not pace and power playing in the front line, whether that's out wide, right wing or left wing, whether that's as a 9, even though he can play as a 10 and a false 9, your other attributes have to be outstanding. And that was my only concern. I only seen him for a short time at Fulham, but against Fulham, before he got sent off, and he looked quality. He did. But João Felix is one of those ballers who he gets a lot of hype. You have to deliver. And again, it's not all his fault what happened at Atletico Madrid. Does he have to take some blame? Yes.
Right.
But when's the last time this man had an outstanding season? For all that, he's an outstanding. He's an outstanding talent. But he hasn't had an outstanding season in however long. And again, that's not all on him. We know how Simeone plays and Atletico Madrid play, but he has to take some blame. But if we were to sign João Felix, I'm not against it. But do I have my reservations because of the lack of pace and power? Yes, I do. And this just in as well. This is United's squad for the Europa League knockout stages. De Gea, Heaton, Butland, Dalot, Wan-Bissaka, Varane, Martinez, Maguire, Lindelof, Malacia, Shaw, Casemiro, McTominay, Fred, Eriksson, Sabitzer, Van der Beek, Bruno, Palestri, Anthony, Rashford, Sancho, Martial, Weghorst, and Garnacho. What we expected. I don't think there's no major misses there. Everything we would have expected there from it.
The only one for me is the Van de Beek inclusion, but I think that's more.
I think you know what it is though. I think youth players you don't have to include.
Yeah,
they just automatically like a Kobe Mainoo, for instance. Like you don't have to include him in that type of thing because he's a youth player. So yeah, with the Donny, so he was like, all right, let's because I suppose Donny will be back. Wait, is he out for the season? I think it's the season. I think so. But hey, you lot continue to get your questions in. Just under 100 of you lot locked in, which is big. Let's get up to 100 likes. We're 8 short, people. We are 8 short of 100 likes. So hit that like button. And we're still 5 short of the net subscriber milestone as well. So make sure you do so. Hit that subscribe button, people. Let me double check, actually. Subscriber check, see if we've got any. Well, let's see. It's 5,171. So we're looking for 4 more now. And share this, man. Let's get over 100 people in here as well. What I'm saying, we're going to continue to grow here at Sarcasm City, people. The work don't stop. The live streams don't stop. The content don't stop. We're 3 short now. We're at 5,172. 3 more subscribers, 7 more likes to get to 100. Do you feel that Donny's time is up at Manchester United? Says Mon. Yes, I do. What are you saying?
Yeah, unfortunate. Yeah. Unfortunately, but I do think just because, well, I think there's more chance in him being sold than there is for him staying for a long period of time. I do think that because of the injury, the rehabilitation process, I don't think it'll be next year that anybody comes in for Donny. I think what they need to see is a couple of months of him playing well to take the chance. And it's just unlucky because you came in during bum-ass Ollie, and then you've been asked to kind of find your way in a system that isn't a system. And then when your manager comes in, you get injured. Yeah, but to SK's point, we don't know. I wouldn't be shocked if he gets sold, but I wouldn't be shocked if he stays for a longer period of time and then gets sold. But can I see him being at United long term? No, because I think the player will want more. Yes. I don't think he views himself as a squad player, and I think unfortunately at United, that's the only spot that he seems to fit right now. But I would say this. On his game, for me, he's our most creative midfielder. And what I mean by that is from one end of the box to the other, his creativity is there. Is it stronger on the closer to our third? Yes, but I do think he's technically skilled enough to play passes from the deep line, helping out the center backs, play somebody in through a long ball. I think it's just a matter of opportunity not being there for him. That's what I think it all comes down to with Donny. Like, he hasn't had the opportunity And if it will ever arrive for him to have the opportunity to show us a bit more, I'm not too sure. So that's why I think, he will probably push the trigger on the leave before
Yes.
we could. We could
Facts.
for sure.
I could see that happening. Big up UK Drilly says, yo, big up Eddie and Flawless like the Ting people. Big up RJ says, thoughts on Lindelof at DM. He played a DM for Benfica. Yes, he did play DM for Benfica. Yes, he did do it for 10, 15 minutes in the last game against Nottingham Forest. Is it something I want to see personally going forward? No. Can he do a job there? 10, 15 minutes? Yeah, of course he can do a job there. Like for 10, 15 minutes in a game. But I don't want it to be a short-term solution, never mind the long-term solution. Ideally, Lindelof a squad player as a centre-back. I don't want him in the secondary position in midfield being a key component. Again, he can do a job there. I'm not looking too much into it. That's just me. What are you saying about this? I know what you're going to say, but the people might not know.
Nah, fam. Nah. Simply put, nah. As a DM, you have to have that dog. That brother got poodle. It might be dog, but ain't the type of dog that we looking for. Okay? How many times you gonna see like Lindelof with his hands behind his back, just backpedaling?
I said he got dog in it, but
it's a poodle. It's poodle. It ain't dog.
Yeah, it's poodle.
It's poodle. He gonna back up so much from that position, he gonna end up in the back of the goal.
He is poodle. Yeah.
I'm cool.
He is poodle. Like
let him go. Let him go back to.
Sorry to cut you off. If it was like a style FIFA and it had like the dog trait and it said what is his, it would say poodle.
Poodle.
It would say poodle.
Poodle, straight poodle with the fluffy ends, all that. Cause you know how they have
and the pink collar,
the pink collar with the diamonds on it. You can hold them in your hand like this in that little purse. You know what I'm talking about? Like we talking straight poodle, bro. We ain't talking nothing else. No Rottweiler, no pit, no Mastiff. What's another one, people? Y'all put them dogs that Lindelof ain't in the chat if you a dog person. No golden retriever. He ain't even better than Airbud. Y'all, you seen Airbud? Airbud got more dog in him. Yeah, if y'all know about Airbud.
Retriever, you know, this guy.
You know what I'm saying, man? This brother got no dog whatsoever. I don't even want to disrespect cats. So I had to go poodle because, poodles in their own category. I done see some cats get down. Some cats just scratch the heck out of somebody, but he ain't even scratching.
No. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, my God. You lot continue to get the questions in as well.
Cameron, he definitely not a shepherd. Definitely not no German shepherd.
No. You're not no German shepherd. Absolutely no. Paulina from Fulham would be a dope second option who could eventually take over at CDM.
That's what I'm looking at.
Yeah, Cameron, again, just because I said Onana, I'm not against Paulina. If we were to sign Paulina in the summer, great move. I'm just looking for Manchester United to not only improve our first team, also improve the squad as well. That's what I'm looking for in the summer. I'm looking for a very similar summer transfer window to the one we just had. Let's go again. Considering we could be coming off winning a couple trophies. We could be. And then what does that not only do for that squad if you then add to it and say, we're going to go again? What does that do to Ten Hag as well? Like, all right, they're backing me. That gives him more confidence. Because we legit, in years, we have such a potential great platform to live from with the way the season's going, with the Carabao Cup final against Newcastle, with how the FA Cup with the other teams being knocked out with Arsenal are out, Chelsea are out, Newcastle are out, Liverpool are out as well. It's only City, you got Spurs, you got Brighton left in that competition, and we got West Ham, another home tie against West Ham on the 1st of March. Europa League as well, we're playing probably the other favourites. If Manchester United are not your favourites for that competition, it's probably Barcelona. The reason why I don't include Arsenal in that is because I don't expect Arsenal to take that competition seriously. You've seen how Arteta move with the FA Cup. I see him doing the same in the Europa League, unless he plays us. If it's Manchester United against Arsenal, I can see them playing a strong team. Other than that, I don't. They're chasing Premier League glory. That's now secondary option to them to the Europa League. Just my opinion on it. So that's why I don't. And plus, it's Arsenal in Europe. And we know Arsenal in Europe is oil and water. Don't mix. We know this. History will tell you that, people. Oil and water, they don't mix. You know what I'm saying? There's only one place you can go in London to see the Champions League, and it ain't the red side enough. But yeah, Paulina, I would take Cameron. I'm a fan. I am. Langan Sweet says, Eddie and Flawless, is it time for you to get rid of De Gea? I'll let you answer first, Eddie, because this is a common question that comes up.
Yeah, with these two parties involved, I can't see anything worth giving him away for it at this point in time, unless you told me Mignon is coming through. But even
Oh,
him,
you're a
I
fan
have
of
some
you're a fan of Man Young, yeah?
in question. I would say
Okay.
if there was anybody, I don't know if I'm that big of a fan
Mm-hmm.
because he has had some shaky moments from what I've seen, but I will say that he would be the one that I would be like, okay, I could stomach it. I don't
Yeah.
think any other goalkeepers have really piqued my interest from what I've been seeing. Like
Yeah.
again, the Coastal brother, I saw enough. I'm cool. I'm all right. But he's getting up there in age, and you want to with these situations, you want to be proactive more than reactive. So I'd rather get somebody in sooner rather than later.
Mm.
So yeah, I could see something like I
Yeah,
could
look at
see.
with me, Lang and Sweet is one of them. Yes, I think De Gea will be moved on, but whether it's this summer, kind of like how I look at Bruno, where it's like he's better than Bruno, but in terms of eventually he will be moved on. It's just a question of when, not if. So whether it's this summer or next summer, but we have bigger holes to deal with
Yeah,
than De Gea in goal. And I think we can be successful with De Gea. Is he a hindrance in terms of the modern day goalkeeping things? Yes. Has he been better this season? Yes. His distribution has been better. Him coming off his line has been better, but there's still the deficiencies there coming for crosses. But look at all the holes we mentioned. We need to sign a starting striker and a backup striker. That's what we need. Like that's more important. We still need two backup in the midfield. We still need two backup as centre backs. We still need a backup right back. We have other spaces in this team that I look at, and I think they're more pressing issues. But I think eventually De Gea will be moved on. Look at this guy, man. Peter talking about Kep for you, my friend Kepper for 10 mil. Man's a
uh,
comedian. Keep your Kepper, man. Big up Westbrook is going as well. Like I say, large up Cameron, good to see you back in the chat, my G. I need to get you on as well, which I'm going to. Nathan says, what do you think about getting another left back and turn Shaw into a left centre back? As I think Shaw is too lazy to be up and
yeah,
down the
here
pitch.
for it. Here for it. People get mad at me when I say it from all different types of places. He doesn't have the legs to be a wing, a fullback. He does not have the legs, people. The type
What?
of athletes you're seeing at the fullback position today are crazy.
Yeah, they are
He
athletes
just
like
can't.
Malacio.
He just can't keep up. He just can't keep up. You put him at left center back, perfect. He's a better center back than Maguire and Lindelof, in my opinion.
You know what? Crazy enough, I can't believe I'm saying this. I agree. Like him as backup to Martinez, I am fully with, and I can't believe I'm
Exactly.
saying that. I seen him in the back four against City, and I thought Ten Hag had lost his mind. I was like, what is going on? And he played well, like very well. We already know technically he's sound and he's good on the ball, but he defended well. Also, so yeah, I'm all for if we were to sign another left back and Luke Shaw is the left-sided centre back, and because he's left-footed, he gives us that lovely balance that Martinez does there as well. I'm with it, 100%. I'm with this. And Eddie makes the point: it's an athlete's game, and the wingers you're coming up against are athletic and pace and power, and that's why Malacia is better suited to deal with that. But if we were to go and sign another Malacia type left back, I'm with it. But again, options. Look what we're talking about here. But I do believe Shaw is the third best centre back at the football club. That is crazy. Luke Shaw
Right?
is the third best centre back at this football club. And you know what? Casemiro might be number 4. Like that's how bad our centre back, how bad our centre backs are. That a DM and a left back are arguably better than those two. Like put it this way, I think they are. It's just that Casemiro's missed in the midfield. But who do I think is a bad centre back? Casemiro, is he bad than Lindelof and Maguire? Yes, our centre back. Same with Shaw. But that goes to show what I think of them as well. MJ says 4 or 5 players not from the Dutch league, please. We need a top DOF to challenge the manager and sometimes pull rank. It's both. Why? So we shouldn't get a player from the Dutch league even if he fits what Ten Hag's trying to do. No, that makes no sense. Do we need a top DOF, MJ? Yes, we do. But I don't get why people say, oh, because Hassam tried this nonsense on Battle of the North like last month, and he was like, oh, you're just getting players from the Dutch league. Is it working? Is it working?
That's
Because
the biggest thing.
Liverpool got a player from the Dutch league and it didn't work. Someone that tell me how Gakpo's doing. Like, so just because he's going into the pool, should that be the long-term thing? No, it shouldn't just be players. But I'm saying to go and not get players from the Dutch league is just idiotic. If the player fits what Ten Hag's trying to do, go sign him. That doesn't make no sense to me. If there's a Martinez level player in midfield, for instance, or a striker, we shouldn't go and get him because he's from the Dutch league. No. But do we need a top DOF? Absolutely, we do. But we should improve. What are you saying about this, Eddie?
Yeah, I don't care where the brother comes from. Can he play?
Yes, that's it.
Like that's it. That's it. I mean, so we got Martinez from the Dutch league. Worked out well.
Yes.
Got Anthony from the Dutch league. In my opinion, I think the hate has been over the top. It's worked out well for me. He has solidified our right hand position with something. Again, we came from a position of having absolutely nothing, no kind of spark on that side of the pitch. He's came in, and you have to at least acknowledge his presence there, right? So he's been fine. What's his face? Bobby Shmurda.
Yeah, man. Oh, you're trying to do business, man.
He doing his thing.
Yeah.
Right? Malasia doing his thing. So I look across and I'm like, I have no reason to doubt Dutch players or not Dutch players, because I love the Dutch players, but I'm talking about the players coming over from that league because we have a manager who understands who they are because of his time there. Like, he wasn't just there, he was running it. Ajax was the top club. And so when people talk about Gakpo, even for me, if the manager wanted Gakpo, he'd be here. They just happen to have the same representation. That's where I think a lot of the noise came from. So, yeah, man, I'm at a point now where if the manager says he's from the Dutch league, bring him through, because this manager gets exactly what he wants out of his players, and he gives them clearly defined roles, which has helped us out tremendously.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So that's how I'm looking at it. Like, who cares where he's from?
Yeah.
Can he do the job? I don't care what nationality you are. I don't care what position you play. Can you do the job? I don't care if you're Dutch. I don't care if you're English. I don't care if you're American. I don't care if you're from Wakanda. You can be from Springfield. You can be from Quahog. You can be from Woodcrest. You can be from New Asgard, Old Asgard. When you put on that Manchester United shirt, do you perform? That's it.
You play. Yeah.
That's it. That's all I'm fussed about. Martinez is delivered. Don't care. You know what I'm saying in that? Sabitzer, I didn't even know his first name was Marcel until we signed him. Don't care. Will you perform? That's it. Just deliver. That's all I don't care about all this, where they're from and all this extra stuff. I don't care. I really don't care. Let's see. Thoughts on the Glazers possibly only doing a partial sale flawless. Big up to Ahmed. I'm waiting, as I always say, when it comes to ownership of Manchester United and new owners potentially coming in, somebody got to make a bid. Rumors come out every single day about Manchester United. Until somebody makes an official bid, that's when I'll talk about it. Very similar to how I spoke on the Mason Greenwood situation when I said when new information arises, I will discuss it. It's like this with the ownership, because there's rumors all the time. Somebody has to put 5, 6, or maybe even more billions on the table. Then I'll discuss it. I'm tired of this shit.
Facts.
I'm saying I'm tired.
Facts.
I'm tired. I really am. Zayn says Sabitzer can be another Schneiderlin. I'm a bit worried. Why, Zayn, have you watched him? Why are you concerned? Because even if it goes wrong, it's a loan deal. We send him back. Simple as that. So that's why I'm not worried about it. From, like I said, the profile, he's not like Schneiderlin. From the profile standpoint. Big up Andrew as well. Says big up Flawless and the panel every time. Large up you lot, because we did go. Big up Andrew. We did go over 100 likes. We're at 105. Let's get to 110. And we did hit the subscriber mark as well. Let's go to 5,180 before we close out. Me and Eddie will be closing out in the next 5 to 10 minutes or so. So continue to get your Manchester United related questions in, people. Get your 5,180. That is the new subscriber mark now. That's what we're looking for. There's over 90 of you lot locked in. I know everybody here for a fact has not hit the subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell as well. And we're looking for 2 more likes. Let's get us up to 110 because it just bumped up as well. Question to Flawless and Eddie. Would you want United playing the same lineup as always for the midweek game against Leeds? Let me actually check. Is that home or away? Yeah, but go on. You answer for me.
I think what I've realized with what Ten Hag wants to do, he needs us to build a certain level of camaraderie, not just camaraderie, but he wants them to understand even to a better degree the tendencies of the players that you're with. And the only way you do that is through constant time together playing in complex situations. So I'm seeing it's a part of his philosophy that this is my base in every game I'll go to. And if I need to sub out players, if I need to, get some guys some type of run, I'll sprinkle in a new person here or there. But there have to be certain mainstays that fit the identity of what I'm trying to do every time I put out an 11. So yeah, I do the same lineup. I think because our strongest lineup is the one that I trust the most, I would figure out a way to get the low back in. I
He's
understand.
training. He's training again now. That's what I heard.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's what we need. So I just think that, you know, when you're building something, you need consistency to always be there. And having them play together constantly can do us wonders. It's unfortunate, that we've seen some injuries arise out of this, but I think that's just the cost of doing business, and you always got to be mindful of that being a possibility.
Well, absolutely it is. In regards to it, I would change it because I've just checked here. So because it's Leeds at home, if I was gonna make changes, it would be that game. But we know Ten Hag doesn't like to rotate like that. But the Leeds away game, for those that don't know, it's a fierce rivalry. I can't stand Leeds. You know what I'm saying? I just want them relegated. But yeah, it's gonna be tough. But do I see him making a couple changes? Yes, because it's Saturday, Wednesday, Sunday, Thursday. That's the next 4 fixtures in terms of Palace at home tomorrow, Wednesday's Leeds, Sunday away at Leeds, and then Thursday at home. Away to Barcelona, which is then that's a 5:40 p.m. kickoff as well that Thursday. So, will he make changes? Yes, I get home to Leeds, and I think he will. So hopefully we see the likes of Martial and Sancho, etc., get minutes and Delo as well, and Sabitzer as well. MJ says, outside of Martinez, if you want to get back to the peak of football, Anthony and Malacia aren't good enough, and most Dutch league players aren't. Unless you watch the Dutch league like that to say most Dutch league play. Actually, let me rephrase that. Most players in most leagues aren't, because it's a small pool of players who can get you back to the top. In regards to the peak of football, Malacia is good backup. At the very worst.
At the very worst.
At the very worst, Malacia is good backup. At the very worst, Anthony is good backup. To say that man are not effective squad players at the very worst is wrong. We are building MJ. So even if Malacia, you could be right. Malacia and Anthony may not be it. However, as squad players, they are it. Malacia as a backup left back is fine with me. I think he's more than adequate. Anthony as a backup right winger, say Diallo comes back and balls out. Anthony as a backup right winger, I'm with it. Again, this whole thing, you're not going to get better than those two as squad players. They're the level of at least squad players. Malacia could improve though, as could Anthony, because they're both young. Malacia is 21? Anthony's 22. So they've not reached their ceiling. So yeah, I think you're being way too harsh on them. Bruno's GNA numbers are the best. His work rate is the best. His mentality is the best. He does everything we need him to do, and he's the best by stats and facts. Yeah, go on.
Except take care of the ball. Except be there for his teammates where they need him to be. Except for being smart on the ball. Except for where else? The list goes on and on for me with this guy. Listen, and it's the same thing when we had that conversation about Kane, right? His goals and assists are a byproduct of legit just him being on the pitch and him taking the advantage, the situation for himself. If we had a system, if we had a player who placed in our system, understood it to a T, what you have to understand is we wouldn't be having one guy having all the goals like we have now. We'd have multiple guys contributing to the goal scoring outcomes. Like, it's not a good thing to just be over reliant on one person for your goal scoring opportunities and your goal finishes. Like, you have to have multiple tools. You have to have multiple outlets. Bruno's just one of the more selfish people on the team.
Mm.
There has been a ton of situations where if he plays a pass, somebody has an easier chance on goal. But he scores a wonder goal. Everybody's enthusiastic. Everybody thinks that's exactly what we need. Now, again, I've said his energy, his availability are of world class, right? The guy doesn't miss games.
You
He
don't.
doesn't lose energy. But when the ball is at his feet and it's not directly at goal, I've seen enough mistakes to never, ever, ever really trust this brother with the ball at his feet away from goal. And as a midfielder, that is a problem. That is a problem. I'm not a fan of Star-Lord. You know about me? I'm not a fan of KDB either.
Yeah, you just say this still.
I'm not a fan of KDB either. Those two,
He said that.
I'm not a
I'm
fan
respond, but I'll let you. Go.
So yeah. That's it. I'm not a
He's
fan
got-
of KDB either. Trust me.
As for this, his goals and assists are quality. You've never heard me once say Bruno doesn't get enough goals. Bruno doesn't get enough assists. Work rate again. I prop for him. I said against Manchester City, I want him to play out wide right because he can do a job on a fullback. However, where Manchester United, that's where it stops with the pluses. And you know how I know this guy ain't good? Because the Defense League is always out for this guy. Whether it's on the channel in the comments or whether it's on social media. You know who doesn't have a Defense League? Defense League. Casemiro. You know why? Because you just share quality. If Bruno was as good as you lot said he was, there wouldn't be this defensively. But his performances don't match up to the way people speak about him. So because of that, you lot have to defend him. Let me repeat that again in regards to Casemiro. I never see any defense of Casemiro from anybody on here, anybody on social media. You know why? Because Casemiro performs to a high level. Bruno's not had a good game in 5 matches. But people ain't spoken about this. He's not. He was, let me run through this right now. Foresty was okay. Foresty was okay. That last game. Away at Forest, even though he scored, he wasn't good. Away at Arsenal, he was terrible. Palace, he scored and wasn't good. So he hasn't actually played well since Manchester City. We played Manchester City on the 14th of January. It's now the 3rd of February. And we played Palace, we played Arsenal, we played Forest, we played Forest. So we played 4 matches. Skies played once in 5 matches. Not good enough. This is my issue with him, is consistency. That's what it is. He's not consistent enough. Roy Keane bangs on about this all the time, and it's true. Consistency is what wins you matches, and that's what wins you trophies and wins you leagues. And he's just not. You can't play well once in 5 matches and be the number 10. I'm sorry. And the fact that people consistently have to defend this man all of the time, even when he plays well, tells me all I need to know. Because if you are of a certain quality, you don't need that defense. Why don't people defend Varane this season? Why is there no defense of a Martinez this season? Why is there no defense of a Casemiro this season? Why is there no defense of a Rashford this season? Because they've all been performing pretty much the entire season at a high level. Simple as that. That's why. And as for KDB as well, hey, if you help me win 4 leagues in 5 years, you're doing enough. I'm about trophies. So to say that KDB, does he lose the ball? Yes. But KDB is a much better player than Bruno Fernandes. For all KDB's deficiencies, he's a better player. He is. Simple as that. In terms of offensively, he's better. The only thing that Bruno has on him is work rate. You know what I'm saying? Technically, he's better. Physically, he's better in terms of strength, quickness, all of that stuff. Better crosser, better passer, better goal scorer, gets more assists. Hey, if you think Bruno's better than KDB, each to their own style.
Yeah,
You're the only person on. Here's the thing: is I say everyone's entitled to their opinion. You're the only person on the planet that thinks that. Well, here we are.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, this is what they doing. They want me to pick between the Dippers and the Celtics, man.
For those that don't know, Eddie's a Lakers fan, and the Clippers and the Celtics are there. What's it called?
Terrible.
Are there odds in that?
Right. Like I could care less. About this conversation. I think to.
He don't get more goals and assists. All right, he don't get more goals and assists. But all right, cool. Van Nistelrooy, I always use as the example.
I think Bruno is more athletic, faster, quicker, stronger. I don't know about stronger. I think he's faster, quicker. I think he can run harder for longer periods of time. That's it. Anything on the ball, I think KDB can do everything that Bruno can do. KDB just can't exert that much energy. I don't think
He's
he's
miles
that.
better.
I don't think he can run around like
He's
to
miles
the.
better. You know what I'm saying? If you all I have to do to kill this dead is us rivals. You can pick
Yeah. Oh yeah.
KDB
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
pick Bruno. Who's taking Bruno? Only Manchester United fans
Only
are taking
Manchester
Bruno.
United fans. Yeah.
Ask City fans. Ask City fans actually if you find one. You know what I'm saying? There's about 12 of them. Find one. Ask City. Ask Liverpool fans. Ask Chelsea. Ask whoever. You know what I'm saying? Ask whoever. I wish when there's the Q&A tonight, I'm gonna ask the likes of Jez and Peter. It's a landslide. It's a landslide. Bruno is nowhere near as good as KDB. And I ain't even the biggest KDB fan.
Same.
But KDB is miles better.
Same.
Miles better than Bruno. They're not in the same ballpark. They're not. Nowhere near. You know what I'm saying? Like from a technical standpoint, nowhere near. Physical standpoint, nowhere near. Mentality, fairly equal. I swear, did KDB not just break the assist record?
Probably.
I swear he did. Yeah. Yeah, he's
no,
not
SK.
You look at numbers. I don't look at numbers.
Exactly.
I look at numbers and the eye test. Because if we just look at numbers, that can fool you. Van Nistelrooy, okay, then if that's the case, Van Nistelrooy is the best striker to ever play for Manchester United in the Fergie era. We all know that's not the truth. But in terms of numbers, he is. But he's not. How come we had our most unsuccessful period when he was here? And that's not a shot at Van, because Van Nistelrooy was a quality player. He's still one of my favorite strikers. And in terms of numbers, in the Fergie era, his goal, even in the Premier League era, his goals to games ratio is better than everybody's. Every other striker we've had, Andy Cole, Van Persie, Rooney, Cantona, the list goes on. But is he top 5? No. Is he top 5? No, absolutely not. Flawless KDB better, but you disrespect Bruno. He's a lot better than you. You take him then, Langan Sweet. You take him. Why does your manager not want him? Tells you all you need to know. He's miles better. Yeah. Facts, Flawless. Modric is not a GNA guy, still one of the best. When you start comparing Bruno to other midfielders, he falls short. Falls way short. Nowhere near. He's not even in the same universe as a Modric. And I'm just talking in terms of levels, because they do, before someone says they do different roles. In terms of levels, they're nowhere near. Casemiro is levels ahead of Bruno in terms of how good he is as a DM and how good Bruno is as a 10. And when I say these things, people get mad, but this is the facts of the matter. If Bruno left this club, he's not going to a better team. This guy's not, he's played well once in 5 games. 5 matches, and he's played well once in the last 5. Where he's been above average or below. That's not good enough. But again, people are going to hype him up. For whatever reason, I don't get people's infatuation with this guy. It must be the goals and assists. I don't get it. I've never seen such backing of someone who's led us to nothing.
Nothing.
If people say, oh, he's led us to stuff, what? Where's the trophy?
I still haven't forgiven that brother for saying all these tactics were perfect in a final that we lost. So I have an agenda. Y'all want to talk like that? Yeah, whatever helps you sleep at night. I have an agenda.
And that's it. And like I said, there's the defense of him. Any player that's that good tells you all you need to know. It tells you all you need to know. Okay, RD says, nah, Flawless from 20. Bruno had better. Okay, he had better goal involvements. He's not a better player. And what did them goal involvements win Manchester United? Somebody tell me. Somebody tell me. Don't hit me with no question. Answer my question now, because I answer all of you lot's questions. So you lot answer my question. What did all this GNA get Manchester United? Somebody tell me, please. What was the reward for Manchester? Because football is a team game. So he was getting all these goals and assists, and he was playing this well. What did that get us? And that being said, we're still 4 short of the subscriber mark as well. 5,180 is what we're looking for, people. And we're at 112 likes. So we're going to close out shortly, people. Like I said, I don't get the infatuation and the defense of this guy. It's weird. You know what I'm saying? It's very strange. For a player who's delivered us nothing in terms of trophies, because that's how I count legends and players who are goated, you have to deliver trophies. You don't deliver trophies, you can keep your goals and assists.
Difference is not that big. Do you? That maybe that's the question. Do you think there's a big difference between the two?
What, KDB and Bruno?
And Bruno?
Absolutely. This season, no, because KDB's form's been poor.
Yeah.
But KDB has been consistently good for however many seasons for them.
Here's my question, and I want to end this conversation to the chat. Do y'all think that Haaland gets as many clean chances as he gets if he has Bruno instead of KDB?
Absolutely not.
Like, do y'all really think that? Because if you do, that means you don't watch him. If that's all I have to say. Like, you know. So Star-Lord says yes.
Yeah, man, because they're gonna say it. I don't get it in it, but that's just me. I
disagree. Yeah, I'm with you, Floss. I don't
get it. I don't get it. But you know what? Like I said, there's only the reason why the defense is so strong for this man is because he hasn't delivered. You know what I'm saying in that? Because he hasn't delivered. That's why. Because I don't see this defensive. If I was here to criticize Casemiro, the defense wouldn't be as strong.
Yeah.
It would just be, Casemiro's cold, and that's the end of it. Same way with the Martinez, same way as a but like I say in it, people gonna hype him up because he gets goals and assists. People get fooled by goals and assists. Man ain't delivered nothing. He's delivered nothing for this football club. He has achieved nothing for this football club. That's a fact. So I'm not hyping up no player who has delivered nothing for Manchester United Football Club.
Yeah. But I think to think that his inability to do certain things is based upon. Let me guess. I think we've passed. Hey, Jess, fuck you, huh? I think we're past the point of like blaming other players for Bruno's inefficiencies. Because like we said, we're watching them independently of what's going on around them and just seeing the decisions they make. And we're coming to this conclusion. Like can y'all, this is always what I say. We lost to Palace 1-0. Eric Ten Hag was there the first time we saw us play. Remind yourself how Palace got their one goal. Go watch that game. For me, that was when I knew it. Everything I thought about this brother was the truth. Decision making, poor. Ball playing, poor. The only thing I can trust him on is being there and being energetic. That's it.
Flawless. What are we going to achieve? We were so far in the mud, so he's not responsible for us being in the mud. No,
he was responsible in us being in that mud.
Yeah, he was responsible. He's part of the reason we was in the mud. Yes, because players like him aren't good enough. That's why. You know what I'm saying? Players like him are not good enough. And if we had all Bruno level players, we would not be where we're at now. We got better players. That's why he's not top 5 players for us right now. He ain't top 5. Martinez is better. Varane is better. Casemiro's better. Rashford's better. He's not top 5 for us right now. De Gea is better. What are we talking about?
Varane.
And we still looking for improvements. Yeah, I named Varane as well. Like, this is my point. He's part of the reason why we were
the
in
low
the mud
when he's
because
healthy,
of that level.
I don't care, people.
This is why he gets shifted out wide and moved out of position. But like I said, you lot are going to defend him regardless, innit? So each to their own. Yeah, Bruno's never performed in a big game. I'm saying. Never performed in a big game. Rarely. How is he? LOL, ever since he came, we've gone forward from where we are. Gone forward to what? You just said we're in the mud. So how have we gone forward, but we're in the mud? See, this is where things don't make sense, people. You just said we're in the mud, Star-Lord.
Come on now.
So if we're in the mud, how's he pushed us forward? Or has he pushed us forward in the mud? The reason why we were in the mud is because of players of his caliber. Simple as that. Simple as that. That's why now he's not our best midfielder. Yeah, man, he's now not our best midfielder. And all of a sudden, we look much better and we look like we're going to win trophies. Bear in mind, he played in the Europa League final. Bear in mind, he played in, was it 4 semi-finals we lost? He played in all 4 of those semi-finals. So he's played in a final and played in 4 semi-finals and was terrible in all of them.
I don't know about that Langan sweep. Before Bruno, we were winning trophies.
Yeah. United struggled. Langan sweep, we struggled with him. Because what did we win? We struggled with him. He played in those 4 semi-finals and the final and was awful in all of them. Facts.
That's the type of conversation we should be here for. That Fardine comment. That's the type of
What do you think?
comparisons we should be making.
It's not like so. It's either we're in the mud, but he pushed us forward. Which one is it? See, people come. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
We're either in the mud or he pushed us forward to what? What did we win? Bear in mind, he's had ample opportunities to help this football club win stuff. Ample opportunities to help this club win stuff. If he's as good as you lot say he is, and he's as good as De Bruyne, and if you man are saying he's top class, world class, he should be able to bypass that. I'm saying one player doesn't make us win. I disagree, SK. Casemiro helps us win.
Mm-hmm.
I disagree with that. To getting us out of the mud. All right, well done for that. You got us out of the mud. Well done. What does that achieve? Pushed us forward to what? Casemiro helped us get out of the mud. That's who I look at. That's a serious player. You know what I'm saying? Star-Lord is a top red gentleman. Also wants Kane and thinks Maguire is quality. You don't think Maguire's quality. Star-Lord better than that. You know what I'm saying? United's highest points tally with Bruno 74 and without Bruno was 81 in 17-18. My point is he's just not that good. But people are going to defend him. Simple as that. And you can't change my mind. Simple as that. I know he's not that good. That's why the Bruno Defense League is always out in full force.
Always.
And even when he plays well. Oh, did you see that from Bruno? Because you lot know he ain't that good. He's played well once in the last 5 matches. And part of the reason we hadn't won a trophy in so long was because of him. He's part of it. He's not solely because of it, but he's part of that reason because he played. Because if we'd been successful in that period, he would take a lot of the praise. So therefore, when we're unsuccessful, you have to take a lot of the criticism, as does a Rashford, as the other players there. Yeah, man. Dennis, people just defend him because he gets goals and assists. That's what it is. But we're going to close out anyway. Big up to everyone that's locked in. We're back in about an hour on the Twitch for the Chelsea versus Fulham watch-along, people. Chelsea versus Fulham. That's live on the Sarcasm City TV Twitch. Download the Twitch app for free. You sign up for free. The same way you watch and comment on YouTube is the exact same on the Twitch, people. Link is underneath in the description. Go subscribe to Carefree Lewis G as well, my brother's channel. Link for that is underneath in the description. Link for everything, all Sarcasm City, is underneath in the description as well. 114 likes, that's sick. 5,177 subscribers. We're back here on the YouTube tonight at 11:30 p.m. for the Sarcasm City Sports Q&A as well. Eddie, anything you want to add before we close out?
Because I expect to win tomorrow. Probably the same lineup that we've been seeing. And now, man, again, people have your own principles, have your own morals, stick to them, no matter the circumstance. That way you can at least provide yourself with some clarity. Don't worry about what social media is telling you. Okay. That's never the gauge. But now I always love for this, man. I always love for the platform. And y'all pull up on the Twitch. Y'all pull up at, I think it's 11:30. Y'all pull up at that time, and you keep it coming. The hits keep coming.
Absolutely. And to MJ, I know you're new here, so big up to you. Says big up, need this collab more often. Every Friday we're here.
Every Friday, my boy.
Every Friday. You get ManDem United's Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. But every Friday you'll see Eddie here. And then other times you'll see Eddie pop up on a Monday, Tuesday, or Thursday show. And you can catch him on the watch-alongs and Q&As plus more. So yeah, you'll see him. You'll see him here. So this is a regular thing every Friday, 4:30 p.m. Dennis says 2-hour stream. Come on, big up to you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, of course, man. Like that's legit what it is. Let's see what else you lot saying. Cheers for the show. Let's win tomorrow. Absolutely. SK says, I don't think anyone disagrees to be specific here. His ball quality isn't the best, but other elements of what he has gotten us this far. How do you measure the impact of a 10 if not goals and assists? It's everything. Goals and assists, ball quality, team trophies, performances of him, performances of his teammates. The fact that you said it and said his ball quality is not the best as a number 10 tells you all you need to know. That's your argument deaded there. That makes no sense. A number 10, but his ball quality is not the best. Where does that? Name me another number 10 that has that. That's successful. Don't exist. But yeah, love to everyone that's locked in. The ManDem United podcast will be back Monday, 4:30 p.m. So obviously I'll be recapping the Palace game plus more. We're going to start getting special guests back on as well. But like I said, Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, 4:30 p.m. Of course, you will get the Manchester United watch along tomorrow. I'm saying 2:40 p.m. that will start. Manchester United at home to Crystal Palace, and then after that, is it Newcastle West Ham? I keep forgetting on the Twitch. Yes, Newcastle West Ham tomorrow on the Twitch, and then Sunday you'll get Tottenham Hotspur versus Manchester City on the Twitch, and then to end out your weekend back here on the YouTube for the Sarcasm City Sports Q&A. But this has been the ManDem United podcast live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube. Big up for tuning in.